Welcome back to yet another episode of the Pitboard discussions. And woo.
Nini umevaa utaki watu wakuone?
Yeah, I'm not trying to see the hate. There has been a lot of hate.
Una shield hate.
I'm shielding the hate. I don't want to look hate in the eyes.
It's the smoke.
Yeah. I'm looking like Enzo himself, no? No?
Enzo.
Yeah, with the dark shades and everything.
Skin color inakata.
Brother, why do you have to be racist? Anyway, pure banter. We are here yet again with another episode of the Pitboard discussions. I'm your host, AS, the Trouble Man himself. Joined here to my left, the start man Mushiri. And to my right, Daktari himself, less troublesome Dan. Now, we are recording this episode immediately after the events of the triple header. Okay, we had, what was the first race of the triple header?
Spain.
Then we went to Austria. Then where did we end it?
Silverstone, baby.
We ended it at Silverstone. Now, a lot to discuss at the triple header, but it will be unbecoming of me if I didn't kick off the show by giving plaudits to the man, the legend, the myth. I don't even know what to call him, man. I really don't. I don't know what adjectives I can best use to describe the guy who actually ended the triple header on a high. And for those unfamiliar, for those who don't know what's going on, the guy I'm talking about is none other than Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton won his first race after 945 days.
The biggest.
Sorry, after how many?
945 days.
God damn.
And I remember watching the race, and immediately he won. Mimi pale chat GPT. Last Hamilton win. How many days? I was very quick. Chat GPT and akina hizi zingine zinaitwa aje? Pilot, all these things. I was there trying to find out the number of days because I was trying to see how long has it been.
Bruh, since Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
2021, man.
Was it Abu Dhabi or Jeddah?
He cried. He has never cried after
Sorry,
winning a race.
not Abu Dhabi, yeah. Since Jeddah, yeah.
Since Jeddah. And look, I was looking at the stats. Yeah, I was looking at the stats, and kulikuwa na ka rough patch. Yeah, winless runs. There was a long stint of winless runs, but hey, they say good things come to those who wait. So I mean, he did deserve it.
Yeah, he had a really good race that weekend, right from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, we'll talk about the Mercedes, but just to say what you said earlier, it was really an emotional end of race. Yeah, I didn't share that here, but I could hear the radio message or the exchange between him and Bono. Man, that was one.
I don't mean to throw shade, and I'm in no way throwing shade. Did he start the monologue of if you believe in yourself?
No.
Oh, this time
this time he cried. He has never cried after a race. Like even
I'm calling bullshit on that one. I don't know why. I'm just calling bullshit on that one. I'm just saying.
What do you mean bullshit? Bullshit on what?
He's never cried after a race.
After winning a race.
After winning a race, I think I'm calling bullshit on that one.
He has before.
I've seen emotional moments from Hamilton.
Hey, brother, this one was different, man.
Okay, but yeah, the circumstances were different. I think this was more emotional, but crying. But hey, he knows better. He's the man driving.
This one was.
He knows better.
He was asked about what is those tears meant. Did you see the interview?
Yeah, I saw the interview, but how do I put it? I was actually happy for him. Let me be honest. I said this on the group, and guys were asking me, "What are you smoking?" A win for Hamilton is a win for Ferrari. I do not care what anybody says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Umeanza kuchange.
No. You guys, I'm not shifting any goalposts. These guys were with us celebrating our wins. They were saying Hamilton is going to Ferrari now. We are also joining Ferrari beforehand. So now I am also celebrating his wins before he joins Ferrari. That's exactly what's happening. But anyway, enough of that. Mr. Statman, do you have anything on the Hamilton win? I know you have some stats for that.
I have some stats for Hamilton.
Yeah. We know it's his first win in 945 days.
So I will start with a weird one whereby anytime Hamilton's teammate takes pole in Silverstone, anamnyang'anya.
No shit.
5 times. Like 2024 is George Russell. 2008 is Hickey.
Mm-hmm.
That magnificent drive of 2008 for Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Hickey had pole.
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton akamnyang'anya. 2014 he did that to Rosberg. Rosberg had pole. I don't know why you want to smile.
You know, I want to smile because Rosberg was the only guy to say Hamilton is going to win that weekend. He was the only pundit who actually vocally put it out there, and he was like, who is going to win? And he was like, Hamilton.
Okay, maybe he knows something we don't know. 2019 and 2020, he took it away from Bottas.
Bottas.
Yeah.
Valtteri.
So, continuing.
It's James.
What is the other one? So, as we all know, umesema how many days?
945 days. And we also know it's his 9th win at Silverstone. I mean, he is the driver who has the most wins at one single track, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, he is also the driver who has most win in a single track.
Mm-hmm.
9. Schumacher has 8. So
yeah, Schumacher has 8.
Yeah. And also the first driver to win after 300 starts.
300 starts.
There was a time he was asked whether, what do you think about that? Like, do you think you're ever going to win? Because no one has ever done it before, like winning after 300 starts.
Yeah.
He said, well, the other drivers are not like him.
Brother, Hamilton's name is chiseled on the walls of greatness in the world of Formula One. He's also, I think, the only driver with 104 wins. Also, the only driver with 104 pole positions. Bro, I can't even begin to talk about these records because if we talk about Hamilton's records, that's a whole other episode in itself.
Yeah.
And do you think the GOAT debate is finally over?
It will never be over until the end of time.
It will never be over.
Yeah.
But is Hamilton your GOAT?
He is the most successful Formula One driver.
Statistically?
But he's not my GOAT.
Not your GOAT. What
Yeah.
about you?
I don't have a goat.
Well, for Ferrari's sake, he is the GOAT for now. Yeah.
Umeanza kusing the team
But
of
statistically, he is the GOAT. I mean, Hamilton has always been a great driver.
Yep.
He will always be a great driver. Let's not try and downplay him. There's this guy who said Lando tried to downplay his accomplishments a few years back, when he was asked, what do you think of Lewis's achievements back in 2021, I think. And he was like, listen, any other competent driver is put in the car Hamilton is in, and they're getting the same results. And sorry, Lando, I disagree with that because this weekend, Hamilton wasn't handed the win. He fought for that win. Lando could have actually won it, but
It's funny how that statement came back and beat him in the ass.
Yeah.
Since Miami, they've had the fastest car. Lando, why haven't you won since Miami?
You can't answer that.
We can't answer that. So I don't agree with Lando there. I think Hamilton is a great driver, and I won't say he was lucky to be in the Mercedes or at Mercedes during their dominant time, but even though he was there during their dominant time, I'm sure he played a crucial part in them dominating.
Of course, yeah, he did. There's something, I don't know if it's Mishiri who kept on saying, fast drivers will always end up
In fast cars.
In fast cars,
Yeah.
yeah. So Mercedes and Hamilton just coming together, that was bound to happen.
Mercedes, during the triple header, I think they were the best performing team overall.
Yes.
They were the best performing outfit. How many points did they gather during the whole triple header event?
So they had 97,
Mm-hmm.
McLaren 83,
Mm-hmm.
and Red Bull 72.
Goddamn.
Now, contextualizing this, McLaren had the fastest car, and Red Bull have the current world champion.
Oh wait, and they had 2 wins in that triple header.
Mercedes had 2 wins in that triple header.
Yeah.
Now, they would have had a double podium at Silverstone hadn't it been a retirement from George. Hadn't there been a retirement from George? Now, Mercedes moving forward, do you think they finally figured their car out?
Yes, they have. Who's the technical guy? Is he Allison? James Allison, or what's his name?
I think so. I haven't heard.
I think he's called. Is he called James Allison?
Yeah.
Whatever.
He
Yeah,
was, He was.
There was an interview a few weeks back where he, after Canada, remember they introduced finally that wing on both Hamilton's and I believe also George's car. And Allison, in an interview, he was like, he couldn't understand how dumb they were, quote unquote. By that I mean, yes, they knew what they needed, at what point they wanted the car to operate in, but they overlooked the role of the front wing in giving the car that balance. So for guys who've been following the Mercedes the Mercedes development since the ground effect era, they've been struggling to find a sweet spot for that car. So it's either they increase the ride height to a place where the car doesn't have enough downforce, or they lower the car to try and get that balance. And if you know how Formula 1 cars are, slow corners, they tend to understeer. Fast corners, they tend to oversteer. Mm-hmm. So the more you lower or you rise them, you get into porpoising, the famous bouncing. Doesn't give drivers confidence. When you raise the ride height, you're losing downforce. Again, they can't take fast corners, medium to fast corners fast enough. So James was like, it seems like Mercedes had this eureka moment when they introduced this latest front wing spec, which ties into also what McLaren did back at Miami, but we'll talk about that later on. But it looks like Mercedes have finally come to a point where they can now understand how to position that car in a particular sweet spot without either severely understeering or severely oversteering, or even compromising the rideability of the car by lowering it down to the ground or raising it high enough where they're losing downforce. So it looks like they have finally figured out their car with
the front wing
1.5 years left in the ground effect era. Yeah, which it makes it a little bit exciting. I know in the past we've been Mercedes. Oh, where have you guys been? Oh, you're just money, cost cap. But it's interesting how seeing them toil since 2022 to actually get to this point where it's not just one race where they can get performance, but now we're looking at, I think this is the third race since Monaco.
They brought it, Monaco. I think George had it in Monaco, and Hamilton got it in Canada, or
yes, yeah.
So since Canada, Mercedes have the most points.
Yep,
up to date.
Yep. They've been looking really good.
Yeah,
and there was I don't know if it was on the group. There's a time I was asking Ferrari folks, you guys need to be wary about the silver arrows because they're coming for you. Less did I know that they're also coming for Red Bull.
So,
but yeah, kudos to them.
Kudos to Mercedes.
Disclaimer.
Wait, and I want to shout out to Motegi. She said we don't talk about Mercedes much. So
yeah, Chamaha, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Give her a shout out. So anyway, now at Mercedes, Mercedes is one of those teams that has had both drivers winning a Grand Prix this year, with George and Lewis both winning. The only other team to do that is Ferrari. But Mercedes, looking how they're looking, do you think if they figured out their car earlier or early enough, they would have avoided the whole Hamilton leaving situation? Because if you guys listen to the Hamilton press conference or some of the questions the press were asking him, they were telling him, okay, look, the Mercedes is looking good. It's undeniably looking better than the Ferrari at the moment, because you're only as good as your last race. It's undeniably looking better than the Ferrari at the moment. So do you think if this car was as good as it was maybe the past 2 years, 2022 and 2023, would you have left the team? And Hamilton was very, very direct with his answer. He was like, yes, I'll still join Ferrari. I'm still okay. And I think it's a PR situation, not the bad PR, the PR kind whereby you're not trying to make anything of that moment. You're just trying to be professional in what you're doing. But do you think events would have escalated to a point where he would have left the team if the team had given him this car, or a car that's performing the way this car is performing currently, early enough?
I don't think so. if Mercedes had the ducks in one row, right from even 2022, even last year, I think that would have swayed or persuaded Hamilton to still stay at the Brackley team. Remember when this news broke, we were trying to speculate maybe what were the reasons why he left. And one thing that I think we all agreed upon was, he didn't like that environment at Mercedes.
And the fact that he was outspoken and vocal enough to say that the team weren't listening to him.
Yeah. And I think he made that decision looking at what happened in the past. By that I mean 23 and 22. And I don't think at that point in time, the technical arm or the technical wing of Mercedes had figured out, or maybe they had an idea of what they need to introduce, which is now this front wing, to finally give the car the performance that it has right now. If I was in Hamilton's shoes, looking at what's happening at Ferrari right now and driving a better car, of course I'd feel some type of way, like I've signed off or I'm running away from a potential race-winning car to a team that is yet to get its shit in order.
But isn't the reason why he signed for Ferrari also isn't the reason why he signed for Ferrari? Isn't there some insight he has on the 2026 car?
I think it's too early, to be honest.
I said this before, like every Formula One fan, every driver, every technical director, all of them, deep down, uko ndani, they are Ferrari fans. Even if it's a small piece. Everybody, like, winning in a Ferrari, for any driver, like if you go and ask these drivers, ever since they were small, one of their biggest dreams is winning in a Ferrari. And if you get a chance to drive in a Ferrari, you take it. So, for Hamilton, I think the way I see it is more of fulfilling that dream. So whether Mercedes are performing well or how, but if he is able, like I said, if he is able to go to Ferrari and win, it would form a perfect script.
Yes, yes, I do agree. But if you look at the situation right now, if Hamilton was faced with the same question, well, he was given the same contract right now at this point in time.
Yes.
Do you think he'll still sign and go to Ferrari next year?
Yes, because winning a championship in a Ferrari has a lot of weight to these drivers.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I kind of lean towards what you're saying. I lean towards your argument here. And all I can say is, at this point, I think if Hamilton has finally, broken his duck of a winless run in, 2.5 years, and he is a really primary reason to the development direction of Mercedes currently, I think Ferrari can be hopeful that when Hamilton joins the team next year, they will have a driver who will actually nudge them towards the right direction when they continue doing what they've been doing for the past few years.
But bro, we're in the middle of the season. Ferrari is still reverting back to the Imola package.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Still trying to figure out their car.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I don't think Ferrari have had a championship-winning driver
What are you talking
in a
about?
minute. They haven't had a championship-winning driver
Charles?
in a minute. Championship, not a race-winning driver. Championship.
Have you forgotten about 2022? Charles was so close.
Close isn't winning. The last time they had a championship-winning driver is when they had Vettel in the team, and people said Ferrari killed or ended Vettel's love for the sport.
Well, it's about to do the same thing to Hamilton.
That's yet to be seen. Listen,
That's what I'm saying.
Ferrari retirement home.
If he manages to win, it is the perfect, because Ferrari has tiered hearts.